Wow, this was not a game that a lot of people thought Norway would just fold in the way that they did in, because actually I think a lot of people, including Adrian Durham, a few of us, maybe not me and you, Ali McCoist, but a few people thought it would be a lot tighter than it actually was. Bayo, I wanted to ask you as well, when you're involved in games where it's just not going well, what's the heaviest defeat of your career?
In the Football League, I think it was 7-2, but I've lost an 8-0. I've lost an 8-0. FK Atlantis, Rapid Bucharest, UEFA Cup.
I watched it.
Yeah, I know, saying that. And I watched it as well because we didn't have the ball once. But yeah, it was a whooping. Like, and Ali would know as a striker, like, so I'm just on the halfway line, really, having a conversation with the centre half, and it was just a battering. Oh man, it was. So yeah, it's not a good feeling.
At what point in the game did you go, probably not going to get back into this?
Boy, I think it was 4-0 in the first 15 minutes, and you've just been in games where, you know, you're just like, boy, it's damage limitation, and it got to that very, like, I think it was 5-0 half time, and you're just like, look, let's not lose the second half or keep it, and then it's the goal straight away, and then literally you're clock watching, and you're just like, I beg, please, referee, put us out of misery.
Does that ever, Ali, this is a question for you as well, does that ever work where your manager says, right, let's just keep it 0-0, let's win the second half essentially, or not lose the second half? Does that ever work for your confidence when you're in a game like that?
Oh, you just got to try and regroup, haven't you? Because it's mentally. Even you mentioned that this morning, Woods. You looked at the girls last night, and the Norwegian girls are just, the body language is the one thing you can tell straight away. You just know there's no way back, and you can go out and say, right, let's go with the right attitude, let's keep this down. But there's part of you destroyed. You really are, and your best chance, actually, I think, is the opposition taking the foot off the gas a little bit because it's 5-6, you know.
Yeah, they're just chilling out. They start making subs, resting people.
Yeah.
What is it then awful then when a kid comes on and then continues to score?
Yeah, it's a nasty feeling when they want to be ruthless. Like, you want them to start doing step overs and trying to put it through your legs because you know they're not scoring goals. It's when they're running harder than what they were doing prior to scoring goals. Yeah, we had that. I think Man City brought in a kid, and when we played them in the cup, they just came and scored. They want to score, so they're on this. They're not just chilling. They're like, I'm just thinking, this is going to be problematic.
And the kid comes on and he's like, this is great. I'm going to go first goal for Man City. Love it. It's wonderful. Now, with the 8 goals that were scored last night, we do what we always do, don't we? And we decide to dissect a lot of them. The first one was a penalty, and then the floodgates opened after that. Ellen White was the one that won the penalty. But was it a dive? Ali McCoist earlier on said yes. Have a listen to this.
It's one back by England, and Walsh now finds Hemp, and it's back onto Kirby, back into White, inside the area, trying to get away from the defender. He's dragged down, penalty for England.
The dive, it was a blatant dive for me. I don't know how we got away with it, to be honest with you, because I was stunned. But I want to just talk about that, because if that was Harry Kane, I would be sitting here saying, brilliant, well done, getting England off to a good start, making the referee give a decision in your favour to get yourself off and running.
Talk me through the penalty. Jason Cundy on air right now is convinced you were diving, very Harry Kane dark arts. I think you'll probably think something different.
I felt contact, and well, they went to VAR, they checked it, and it was a penalty. So what more can you say, really?
That was Ellen White's response to Jason Cundy's game on Sports Bar last night, that she dived to earn England's first goal from the spot. I love the initial reaction of, all right. If Jason Cundy had been in the room and then had seen each other, his head would have been clean off at that point. But listen, it was they won the penalty. Like she said, it went to VAR. VAR gave it. For you, Bayo, what did you think? Was there contact?
Listen, boy, there's the different definition of contact, and if it's enough to go down, you know, I'm with Ali. I think it's a dive. You know, I wouldn't have got that. I know that, you know. But what is funny that it's dark arts, so you're congratulating Harry Kane because he bought it, which is fine. Like, we've got strikers, and if I can get a pen for my team, and
do you buy them?
I'll try and purchase them as many as possible. I don't think I've got any, but I'll try and purchase them. So they won it, and it went to VAR, and there was another opinion, and they got the penalty. So listen, I guess it's part of football.
Yeah, Do you ever do it? Dabble in the dark arts?
Listen, I've got news for you. If it was windy up in Glasgow, I'd go down. By the way, no. I thought the arm came across initially, but she went down very, very easily. I didn't think it was a penalty. No, but Jason's right, because imagine it's a World Cup semi-final or a Euro semi-final when Harry Kane goes down and gets you a penalty. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody's bothering. I'll tell you right now, because it would happen against you.
Yeah, man.
100%. That's the whole part of the game, isn't it? If it happens for you and it gives you an advantage and it's your team, all day long. If it happens against you, it's the worst thing that's ever happened and they're the biggest cheats in the world. That's how it works. There were so many other goals really to go through. Beth Mead, I just wanted to tell you guys about her because I am a big fan of Beth Mead, actually, and she didn't start one of the previous games. They had 3 warm-up games and they weren't necessarily against like top class opposition, but enough that they got a good run out and had a little sort of feel about where they were. They did play the Netherlands though, and that is a top class opposition, and they're the guys actually that are current defending champions of the Women's Euros. That was about 5 years ago actually. But Beth Mead, basically she got left out one of the games and then she came off the bench, and she also got left out of the Olympic squad, and we spoke to Faye Carruthers earlier on, and Faye summed it up perfectly, saying look, that made her really angry and she wanted to prove herself and come back in, and she scored 3 goals last night. One of them was a beautiful goal, and I just wanted to highlight her in particular just because she's had an amazing season as well, and I always like it when our players get to shine on the big stage, and sometimes, Bayo, in your career, and you probably can speak on this more than anybody, you've had a lot of adversity and you've had a lot of people saying, nah, he's too big to play football, he's too this, he's too that, maybe he's too old. Did they ever say that towards the end of your career?
I think they said I was too old at the beginning. They said I was lying about my age and not playing, but yeah. No, but I always feel that it's a part of past, and not just in football, I think in life. I think,
does that spur you on?
Yeah, it does. You know what I'm saying? It does, because I think the way you are as an individual, and different people have different testaments to it, but you do, and I guess, like I said, I flip it now. I don't do it to prove people wrong. I do it to prove myself right, and that's how I flipped it. But of course, in the same way, when you prove yourself right, you're proving others wrong. And it's a lovely feeling when, and that's why you see when players go back to their old team and score goals and they kind of be like, yeah, I told you. So sometimes when people doubt you and just give me the opportunity, I just need the opportunity. And when you do it, it feels sweet.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.